Hey everybody, welcome to this week's transformation reading. This is a readings where I've been taking a card from this deck that I'm working on with the creator. It has 7 stacks and we started with the first stack. And I've just been taking a card each week, seeing which card comes out. And that is what the creator wants us to look at, where we can transform this emotion that is rooted in fear and transform it into emotions of unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter. So we'll go ahead and jump right in, getting down to just a few cards here in this deck. So of course, as we go through one each week, I take it out. So that's why it's getting so small here. So just mix these up. All right, creator, what do you want us to focus on this week? Okay. Nope. Okay. This is the one right here. And we got the hatred. So, of course, they always say, hatred is a poison we take, hoping that it makes the other person ill or hurts the other person, right? And that's what hatred is. Hatred is like, goes beyond being mad at someone. It has a very deep cut. Usually it's because we have a deep pain inside of us or a deep fear about the other person. Sometimes we don't even know why. I was always reminded of like the old Hatfield and McCoys. They had been having this family feud for generations and generations and generations, where they didn't even know why they were mad at each other, because it had started so long ago and it was going back and forth and back and forth. So I always love that analogy of, that hatred and anger is all about feeling something so deep in us that's actually hurting ourselves. Because the other people usually have moved on. If we're holding hatred for someone, they're not thinking about it, like we are. They may not even think they did anything wrong. And they've moved on to other things in their life. So it's all bottled up inside us, right? And so what I love is how the creator shows set them free. And what this means is, it comes down to like forgiveness. And I know, don't freak out, because I know when I used to hear forgiveness, I'm like, I'm not going to let them get away with everything they did to me. And I'm not going to, let that injustice, slide by, because what will the world be? And it's like, well, forgiveness isn't about letting the other people, like off the hook. It's it's like releasing the wrath from inside you, because all that wrath inside you is doing is taking you into fight or flight mode. And when your body goes into that and you keep yourself in that over and over and over again, what it does is it actually starts hurting your body, right? Because when you go into fight or flight, it floods your body with adrenaline. It shuts down your digestive system. It shuts down some other systems in your body too. And the blood rushes out of your brain and puts you in this reactionary mode where you have a foggy brain where you can't think, because your body doesn't want you to think, it wants you to react. So you're in this constant state all the time, and that's not good for your body, not to have that much going through your nervous system, not having your digestive system cut down, and your immune system also shuts down because it is in survival mode. So it's supposed to only be for a very short amount of time, because it's designed to protect us from physical harm and physical, things, threats on the outside of us. But there's so many emotional monsters that we have in our lives now that our bodies are constantly in this state, of fear, until we change our hearts and we investigate and take a look at our hearts. Where the set free comes in is you let when you forgive and you let, all that angst and all that revenge and all that, just that hatred, hatred is such a hateful word. When you let that wrath go, then you have this peace that comes into you, right? And you start looking at all the things that you're getting upset with, and all the, it has all these bars on the cage, or all these expectations on who you're supposed to be and who everyone else is supposed to be. But instead, you let love come out. You focus in on looking at each of these, I call them conditional love laws, and you look at them and you go, where did that come from? And is it true? Because at our heart, we are these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. Our natural essence, who we are, is unconditional love. And we came down here, to experience a small human being, to more fully understand who we really are, in experiencing limitedness. We understand what limitless is, which is who we really are. Powerlessness, powerful, conditional, unconditional. And so in experiencing all that, we more fully understand it. And then, but all these expectations and all these fear-based beliefs on how things should be and need to be and have to be, those are the things that we're accusing everyone of, because our fear ego has all these rules that it's trying to obtain and police. And as long as we have ourselves in this cage, we try to make sure everyone else is also caged in a way. We have ourselves under all these rules. By golly, we're going to make sure everyone else obeys these rules too. And that never goes well, because everyone has different rules, and some of them are contradictory even within us. And so when we try to do all this and try to control everyone, hatred is the fight, in the fight or flight, because we feel we have to fight for our little truths that we have. Then we battle with other people, and we feel we have to defend our little small truths, because obviously our little truths are truer than other people's truths, but they also think that way. So when you convert all this and change it all, and take a deep breath and step back and connect to your higher self, connect to that unconditional love, you free yourself from that need to obey all those supposed to's and shoulds and have to's and need to's. You come to yourself and give that unconditional love to yourself, and you set yourself free. And in doing that, you don't think you have to keep anyone else, policed anymore, because you're free, so everyone else gets to be free too. And so there's this beautiful, awareness that comes through whenever we have this hatred just boil up from within us. That is a signal, it's a flag for us that there's something we can look at inside of ourselves. And I usually try to ask myself, after I take several deep breaths, sometimes several hundred, right? To when I calm down, I ask, what am I trying to control? What am I trying to fix? What am I afraid of? When I ask myself those questions, then I get down to the root of where this hatred and this defensiveness and all that bubbling, poison is bubbling up within me. And then I can transform those. I can understand them, and I can surround them and have unconditional love flow into them, so that I can see things from a different perspective. And so it's a beautiful thing that we have, and the answer to every question is love. Because when every moment is either of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. It's always about love. It's either we are just swimming around in this beautiful unconditional love from the creator of all things, or we're in fear that we're losing love, and so we're fighting or defending. And so it's very obvious, it's black and white, the feelings that you have, from them, of course. And so when you understand that there's this choice every moment of every day, am I choosing unconditional love, or am I choosing fear? And if I'm choosing fear, I don't judge myself, because that's what I came here to experience, all these opposite emotions. But if I don't want to feel that way anymore, and I don't want to, have that poison going through my body and feeling awful and feeling unhappy and all those other emotions with fear, just knowing that there's another choice just feels so much better. It's not a prison sentence, right? You're like, you know what? If I don't like how I'm feeling, I can change it. That is our power, and I love it. So as you go throughout this week, if you do have these bubblings come up of hatred, then you can use this and remember this video. And just take a deep breath and take another, and just until your heart slows down and all that oxygen gets all that adrenaline out of your body, and then you come back into your higher mind, your loving mind, your right mind, because when you're in fight or flight, you're out of your mind. That's how the human body works. So just know as you go throughout this entire week that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. So you hang in there, have a great week, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. You take care.